I read about an interview of ex-Formula 1 driver David Coulthard. In his interview, he told that he has placed order for Mercedes AMG One, aka the F1 car on road. So I thought of making video on it. This AMG is based on Lewis Hamilton's Formula 1 car, means Mercedes Petronas, from 2015. As it is going to launch in 2020, I think it will get some tech mods from past seasons also. The engine and some components of hybrid electric powertrain are directly picked up from F1. It's claimed to have top speed of around 350 km an hour and will do 0 to 200 km an hour in under 6 seconds. Now that's impressive. So let's untangle the tech behind this car. First, we'll go through the engine tech. Then we'll see how the MGUH and MGUK functions. Then after that, we'll understand how the hybrid electric powertrain works. And finally, we'll get an overview of aerodynamics. So let's start with the engine. The AMG One is powered by actual F1 engine producing 628 HP just from 1.6 liter 90-degree V6 engine. The changes made to make it street legal include new catalytic converters at the back to treat the exhaust to comply with pollution norms, and a new rev limiter of 11,000 RPM for red line, while its idle RPM will be brought down to around 1280 RPM again to comply with the rules. The most coolest thing about this powertrain would be its more than 40% brake thermal efficiency. I guess it would be around 50. Because we have seen Mercedes F1 to hit brake thermal efficiency above 50%. So maybe we could get that too until the production starts. In regular cars, almost 67% of the fuel power is actually wasted, whereas 33% only gets converted into useful work, giving the brake thermal efficiency 33%. The increased efficiency in this car though is mainly because of better ignition system and MGUH. So first, let's talk about the ignition system. We want the engine to run at high RPM. To do so, each stroke should be carried out in less time. All the strokes can be carried out in less time pretty easily, but it's really difficult to perform combustion stroke that quickly. Most of the problems start from here. To make the engine efficient, lean mixture is used, whereas in most high-speed engines meant for performance application don't do so. Then burning that lean mixture in very less time, that too efficiently with tiny sparks, is really tough job. As there is ignition delay, then flame propagation and afterburning, all stages of combustion. Even using multiple spark plugs won't help much, because using spark plug in those conditions would be a Stone Age technology. So how about flamethrowers? Sounds good, right? Well, that's what they do. This engine uses turbulent jet ignition. Here's how it works. In the combustion chamber, there is one small pre-combustion chamber, where there is spark plug and smartly fitted injector, probably this way. This chamber is covered by a small plate below, which has orifice, means tiny holes on it. Now let's compare this system with regular ignition system. The engine sucks in air and the injector injects fuel. In this system, 97% of the fuel is injected in main combustion chamber, forming lean mixture, while 3% is injected in pre-combustion chamber. Then the compression starts and the air fills in here from the holes. As it's a small space, with some air and 3% of fuel, the mixture here becomes rich. Now spark plug in this engine ignites the air-fuel mixture. This ignition is quite advanced, meaning early, than in regular engine. Then this rich mixture absorbs heat and starts burning. Now, at the time when normally spark plugs ignite in regular engines, in this engine, the burning fuel gets forced out from tiny holes in form of long flames. Now, as in regular engine, there are stages of combustion occurring slowly like ignition delay, flame propagation and afterburning, and flame starts from one place. In this engine, these swooping out flames quickly start burning the mixture from all the sides. As there is more effective ignition and rate of fuel burning is also very quick, hence even in short duration, the fuels burn efficiently, increasing the total brake thermal efficiency. This helps the engine to fetch out more power from fuel. Now this thing contributes in increasing the brake thermal efficiency, but to some extent only. The further conversion is taken care by the MGUH. So let's first understand what's MGU. MGU means motor generator unit, which works as motor to drive something or generate electrical energy when the shaft is rotated. The MGU used here, which contributes to increase the brake thermal efficiency, is MGUH. Here H stands for heat recovery. Due to combustion of fuel, the exhaust gases are hot, and we use it to spin the turbo. But not all of them are used. Generally, the turbocharger has wastegate mechanism, where at mid to high revs, some amount of exhaust is bypassed from the turbo. This is done intentionally to control the speed of turbo, hence controlling the boost pressure at intake. If all gas is allowed to go via the turbine, then the pressure buildup at intake would be very high, and it's not desired for many conditions. In turbos with MGUH, there isn't any wastegate mechanism. Rather, the MGU itself is fitted on the shaft in between the impeller and turbine of the turbo. So when the exhaust gas spins turbo, some amount of energy is utilized to drive the compressor, while all extra gets converted into electrical energy to charge the battery via the MGUH, which is further used to drive the vehicle. So rather than bypassing the exhaust to control the speed, the MGUH itself works as an added load along with the compressor to utilize the excess energy of exhaust and also prevent the turbo from over-revving, hence allowing only energy to go to compressor which is sufficient to produce the required boost pressure at the intake. So the part of fuel is converted into brake power via engine, while some part of heat energy which is wasted from the exhaust is required via MGUH, which drives the electrical motor, increasing the brake power output. So the total fuel energy converted by both into brake power gives this increased brake thermal efficiency. Now that's generator part of the MGUH. Now let's talk about the motor part of it. But before we dive into it, make sure you subscribe this channel and hit the notification bell to get future updates. This turbo is very big, and hence pulling it only by exhaust takes very high RPM, means lot of turbo lag at initial revs. To avoid this, MGUH works as motor. It takes power from the battery and spins the shaft, working as electrical supercharger, eliminating lag. When the engine reaches sufficiently high RPM, producing enough exhaust to spool turbo all by itself, the electrical supply is stopped, and turbo works all by the exhaust. With this technology for anti-lag, when the engine starts, it just takes 2 to 3 milliseconds for the turbo to spool up, and after that, the turbo is always spooled up when you need it, with no lag whatsoever. Now getting to the transmission, this transmission is completely new and not taken from F1. It is 8-speed single-clutch automatic transmission, and there's nothing special to talk about it actually. Now coming to the electrical part of the powertrain, it is powered by 800-volt battery with similar cells and cooling technology as of F1, but with 4 times more the capacity. Then in front, there are 2 MGUK on each front axle, giving output of 161 HP each. When the battery is fully charged, then you can drive it all electric for 25 kilometers with 232 HP and front wheel drive. The K at the end of this MGUK stands for kinetic energy recovery. So at deceleration or braking, it works as ERS, means energy recovery system, where it converts the kinetic energy to electrical energy to charge the battery. Then there is 161 HP MGUK on the crank, working as cranking motor. Then further, it also assists the engine to give more output and torque for hybrid drive. As it is MGUK, it also recovers kinetic energy from the engine and converts it into electrical energy at deceleration or braking, working as part of ERS. One more use of MGUK is as range extender generator. So, in case you want to charge the battery or drive all electric by front motors, then you can generate electricity by running the engine and converting its power into electrical energy via this MGUK, so as to drive or charge the batteries. In this mode, the transmission is declutched. This concept is very similar to Koenigsegg Regera's powertrain. Make sure you check that video too if you haven't yet. The link is in the I button above. It will also get a plug-in feature to charge the battery at stop. So all in all, you have 3 systems which can charge the battery: 3 MGUK, 1 MGUH, and a plug-in supply. When driven in hybrid mode, it is expected to give more than 1000 HP, probably around 1250 HP, and the whole powertrain would weigh around 420 kilos, while the whole vehicle would weigh about 1.3 ton. Coming to the aerodynamics, it also gets F1 inspired aero bits and pieces, like this, and this. These are all to increase the downforce. Then you also get this shark fin to increase the stability at cornering and also while driving in straight line. And this air intake is lifted slightly above so that the air intake would get more and more laminar air rather than turbulent one. That's all about it. Hope it hits the road soon. Thank you for watching.